Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
You're listening to Bloomberg Businessweek with Carol Massar and Tim Stenovec on Bloomberg Radio.
We love chocolate here on Bloomberg Businessweek. And I think a lot of people who might eat chocolate regularly might not understand the complicated economics that go into chocolate. You got to rely on fluctuations in commodity prices.
Oh, yeah.
Cocoa prices. We've talked about this year.
I have written about a number of hedge funds, specifically CTAs this year, that have made so much money this year trading cocoa futures because the price has just gone absolutely parabolic. Like, people have made millions and millions of dollars trading in this market. And yeah, you don't realize that when you eat a piece of chocolate.
Well, then they can go and buy a lot of chocolate. One person who does think about this stuff day in and day out is Courtenay Vuchnich, the co-founder of Lovo Chocolate. She joins us from Toronto. Courtenay, good to have you with us. When I say chocolate, the chocolate that you make at Lovo Chocolate is different than other milk chocolate because it's plant-based. Talk a little bit about the market that you saw, the opportunity that you saw a few years ago when you developed this.
Well, first, thanks so much for having me. I love talking about chocolate. We have had a dark chocolate brand for about 13 years called Pasha Chocolate. And the dark chocolate end of the category represents about 20% of the category. And since we've had that brand, we always wanted to have a milk chocolate sister brand. And at the same time, as we started to think about this, I was looking in people's fridges and being a bit snoopy about what people were buying. And we in the US have seen an enormous growth in the plant milk liquid category beyond anyone's expectations. Like last year, 50% of Americans purchased a plant milk. And the thing that I discovered is that people weren't just buying one plant milk. They were buying maybe almond milk for their cereal and oat milk for their smoothie, but it didn't mean they were giving up dairy. But we had started our process of trying to create a milk chocolate that tasted like a dairy bar. And as this, torpedo growth happened within the liquid sector, we thought, wait a minute, we're making a mistake. We've got to focus on the taste of plant milk, the gorgeous, deep, nutty or oaty taste that Americans weren't seeing as a trade-off. They were loving it and they were picking it up more and more and more.
So essentially what you were going about it, in your opinion, the wrong way. You didn't want to try to recreate the milk part of milk chocolate. You wanted to recreate the oat or almond part of the oat milk or almond milk category.
Precisely. And we also knew when we did this pivot, we knew that, of course, we are not selling a liquid that's going into something else that you're making. We're selling a gorgeous, decadent, rich, creamy milk chocolate bar. That's what consumers want, a Moorish product that they can't put down. So we knew that we had to go to Switzerland, the creator and the home of milk chocolate for 150 years. We knew that if we went there, we could take advantage of all the techniques and the professionalism in the category. Remember that Europe's capita consumption of chocolate is double of North America. And we went over to Switzerland and developed our products there to create something that was as creamy, as gorgeous as a milk chocolate bar. And that was the beginning of Lovo, which is the first and only line of dairy-free milk chocolate made from your favorite plant milks.
So how has the process been of getting Lovo onto grocery store shelves? Because chocolate feels like one of those markets where people are really attached to their brands, and often these big name brands, Mars, Hershey's. How have you been able to kind of navigate the industry?
Well, people are not falling out of love with their chocolate. They have generally a group of chocolate bars or brands that they, rotate between. It's sort of what we call a repertoire collection. But at the same time, we felt that people wanted something different than this. They wanted something that allowed for something that was slightly better for you, better for the planet. And so we decided that, first of all, we would launch online. And we would continue to adjust and continue to learn as I talked to hundreds of women across the US. And the thing that was really interesting is that the retailers have really seen that there is room in the category to expand in this area. So, we're on the shelves now at places like Walmart and Albertsons and the Berkeley Bowl in California and Fairway. And, across major retailers, across specialty, across natural. The thing that is our huge challenge, though, is we have to get people to pick it up and try it. We're launching into part of the category, as I said, that doesn't exist. And we have to, as soon as they try it, they love it, is our experience. They don't feel like there's a trade-off. They think it's delicious and it's different. And that's what we have to focus on this
Emily,
year.
we got to try it.
My
I feel
mouth
like
is watering.
Yeah. It's like, we're talking about this for 10 minutes and we're,
I want it.
Yeah. Okay. Where can you get it in New York?
We can get it at Fairway, which I'm sure is very close to you. I can send you a list from be best if I looked up your zip code and sent it to you directly.
All right. I'm not going to bore everyone with just finding it, spending the next 2 minutes doing that. Emily, help me out here.
Well, can you talk a little bit more about the strategies that you guys are using to break into this? It's interesting. You said you're 100% family funded, women co-founded, and a predominantly women employed brand.
So when we spoke to women about their chocolate consumption, the female, and we spoke to some men, but primarily women, chocolate is an incredibly important part of their daily life. It's a private relationship that they have. Not that they don't share it with their friends, but they also keep it for themselves. And they have a pause in the insanity of what they're trying to do every 24 hours and eat that chocolate. And women told me stories about taking it and hiding it. It's pivotal to them, and they feel really passionate about it. And we wanted to create a world that represented that dreamscape, where they could float away for a moment.
I love that.
And I became really focused on wanting to make a movie about it, wanting to make a little film, and obviously we're a startup, as you said, and, we're spending our pennies very carefully. So we worked really hard to create something.
Courtenay, we gotta run. We're out of time, but I can't wait to try it. I just found on the website there are plenty of places near us where we can go and buy it. That's Courtenay Vuchnich, the co-founder of Lovo Chocolate, joining us from Toronto.